Alright, what's going on, guys? So today, got a different video. I didn't really plan too much for this. I just wanted to turn on the camera and just have a conversation. So what we're going to be talking about today is resources in Marvel Contest of Champions, and mainly the highest tier of resources. Now, currently in the game, the highest tier of resources available is Tier 5 Class Catalyst. These rainbow looking things right here. This is what every endgame player is currently after. Now, the real issue with these catalysts currently that a lot of players face is RNG. If you don't know what RNG stands for, it stands for random number generator, also luck. Basically, you do a lot of content in the game in hopes of getting these rewards, and you're guaranteed to get these rewards, but the problem is you're not guaranteed to get the class that you want. And what ends up happening is you can see a massive disparity. So we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, then 2 for the colored ones. That shouldn't be happening. That's a real problem that a lot of players face, because we just don't have the right champions to maybe give these to at certain times. And to put it into perspective, I've had 3 total of these cosmic ones, 0 of these science, 0 of the tech, 2 of the skill, 1 of the mutant, and 1 of the mystic. So just a big disparity there, right? In those numbers, when it's an equal chance at everything, it should be averagely pretty equal. But a lot of people have this problem. So now what I want to talk about is chasing these the highest resources in the game, right? Because when I first started playing this game, it was back in 2016, October 15th, and the highest resource at the time was Tier 2 Alphas. Those were what everybody was after, these guys right here. And the highest level you could take a champion to was rank 4 as a 5-star, and you had to use the Tier 2 Alphas. And there was offers back then for like percentages of one Tier 2 Alpha for a lot of money. And probably back then, one Tier 2 Alpha would have been valued around like $300, $400, $500 for just one, which is stupidly expensive, especially like if you look at that now. And that's just the way the game is. Kabam is always going to charge a high price for the most sought after resource of its time. And that's just the way the game is, which is okay. It's a smart business model on their part, but it was never an issue because it's Tier 2 Alphas. You just need 4 of these to take up a 5-star, and then eventually we got to rank 5 stars. You still need Tier 2 Alpha, you just needed more of them, but it's still just you get that Tier 2 Alpha and then you do it. And then eventually the next most sought after resource was a new one to everyone, and it was the Tier 5 Basic Catalyst. This was that new thing that everybody chased, that everybody wanted, and that Kabam could sell at a premium, right? They sold fragments of this for like hundreds of dollars, man, and I'm sure they made a ton of money right when it first came out. And this is what everybody was after. But the cool thing was with Tier 5 Basic Catalyst was when it was really at its prime, there was Act 5, and if you 100% at Act 5, you could get 2 of them, and then with those 2, you could take any character you wanted to rank 5, which was awesome. You could take up any single 5-star you wanted to rank 5, and it wasn't random. You got to choose. You also got an Awakening Gem, so you could choose a 5-star after you beat Act 5. You take that 5-star, you awaken them, you got your T2A, you got your T5B, you awaken them, I already said that, and then you can rank them up, and boom, you get to pick that champion. And that's good, that was worth it, right? That was awesome, I love that. But now, with the next resource being Tier 5 Class Catalysts, it's not the same. It's random, and it's class-based. So this is the real issue, because everybody's getting, not everybody, but the majority of people are getting screwed over by the random factor. And, this wasn't a problem in the past, even with the last tier of this, because if we jump back a tier, it was Tier 4 Class Catalysts. Now, I went through a phase, of course, where this was my most sought after resource, but I was never playing the game where this was the highest resource. But since I started playing the game, there was always Labyrinth of Legends. Now, the great thing about Labyrinth of Legends is if we take a look at the rewards, for just completion, you get 2 of every single class guaranteed. There's no random factor here. It's boom, you get 2 of every single class, 100% guaranteed. Now you can use those to take up any champion you want. You also get some tier 2 alpha to take a champion to rank 4, which again at Labyrinth of Legends time, which was the highest tier to take up champions. So you do your initial clear of Labyrinth, boom, now you can take up any champion to rank 4 because it gives you the class resources and it gives you the sought after resource and also a chance to awaken a 5-star. Just a chance, that's fine. And then if you 100%, you get 8 tier 2 alphas, which you can, at the time, you could use to take up 2 more champions to rank 4. You get a generic awakening gem, so you can awaken any character you want. You get some sig stones, and then you get more tier 4 class catalysts of every single class, guaranteed. No luck, no RNG here. It's just guaranteed. You want to take up a champion, boom, you have the means to do that now. It's guaranteed. And I like that. I really love this formula. I think it's perfect. There's no luck factor in it. You work for your resources, you earn them, you get them, and then you can use them. It makes all the effort feel worth it, right? And then we didn't have that new content for where we are now to get those kind of resources. But then Abyss came out, and I was thinking, okay, this is the perfect time. In Abyss, I thought it was going to follow that Labyrinth format where it's going to have the initial completion and then exploration awards maybe. I thought for sure in the exploration awards there would be 1 of each tier 5 class catalyst, but look, it's not a thing. I don't see any rainbows here. No, that's not how it works here. Is you get 1 for completion, you get 1 tier 5 class catalyst crystal. So it's 1 out of 6 that you're gonna get what you want, completely random. And then you work super hard, spend a lot of money or a lot of time farming the means to get through it. And then you get 2 more crystals, which are random. Again, 1 out of 6 chance. And you could get 3 of the same class. And it's happened to people. And that is ridiculous. It's so stupid, I think. And now there is a selector here, but this is for a champion, which is awesome. I love this selector. I think that's a really great addition. But for 100%ing Abyss, there should be maybe not give 1 of each catalyst like Labyrinth did. Maybe that's too much. Maybe kabam would be losing out on too much money for that. Okay, but make these selectors at least. If you go all the way through Abyss, let someone pick which champion that they want to rank up, because it's not a generic resource that applies to every class type. It only applies to 1 class type. You gotta give us some selectability here, man. That's ridiculous. That's honestly ridiculous. So that was my biggest issue, was with Abyss. This was their chance to really fix this RNG problem, and they didn't. They just made it worse. And they've continued to just make it worse, because they've said, I'm going to pull up some stuff here. This is pulled right from the forums. I remember this being said, but I couldn't find exactly where it was said, but it's quoted here. So here's a direct quote from Kabam Mike last week. This was in September. Selectors are very rare items and will not be available in abundance very quickly. I wouldn't expect them in content very often for at least a year. Now, this guy says, my only question is, if they are too rare to put in content, why are they so abundant in purchases? There was a 10% selector available to buy last week. There are 2 10% selectors available today. Items that are super rare in content should be super rare to buy. And here, if we jump to Twitter, this is MSD's tweet a little while ago. Kabam, we want 2 SC selectors to be a rare item in the contest. Also, Kabam, throw us 50 and you've got one. So here, this is $50 for 10% of 1 tier 5 class catalyst selector. That's really, you're gonna just say they're rare, not want to put them in content, and then you're just gonna sell them for money. They're just really milking this one, man, and it really bugs me, because I don't I don't mind as much if they want to milk it, if it's a generic resource like tier 2 alpha, like T5 basic that applies to every single champion. But when it only applies to one class type, you know, I think it's messed up. I think it's really messed up. And yeah, so that's my really big problem with the T5CC situation currently in the game. Now, there was also another big opportunity was Act 6. So again, we talked about Act 5 and how, you know, you basically get the means to take up any champion you want to rank 5 and awaken them, which is great. But then if we look at Act 6 here, there is no generic awakening gem, so you can't take up any champion you want to, you can't awaken any 6-star champion that you want. It's, again, random, which sucks. I was really expecting there to be a generic awakening gem in Act 6, because if we look in Act, I don't know about Act 3, but if we look in Act 4, which is where, this was like the first endgame content I had that I was doing when I first started playing, there was a generic awakening gem, which I looked forward to obtaining to be able to awaken any 4-star I wanted. And then Act 5 came out, and I assumed it would follow the same algorithm and or the same format, have the same generic at least at the end, and it did. And me being the naive Canadian that I am, I thought Act 6 would follow the same formula, but they didn't, which I don't know why. And for all of Act 6, for the completion, you get a 25% selector, which is great. That is great. But in the exploration, there should be a 50% selector, or a 75% selector, or a full selector for all the work Act 6 takes. You should be able, if you do all of Act 6, all of the Abyss, you should be able to pick at least one tier 5 class catalyst that you want. And my account, I still have never formed a science or tech, 2 classes that I desperately want to form. And I'm done every single piece of content in this game, and every single selector that we've been given, I've chosen science for, and I still have not formed a science tier 5 catalyst. Because that's the way luck works in this game. So, again, like they could have rectified this by in Act 6 giving some selectability just to form one catalyst that you want, to take up that one character that you want to that next highest level after all your work. But no, it's luck. And what they also could have done is just given a rank 2 to 3 generic gem, which would have been quite a bit. Maybe they could have done that in Abyss or something, you know, just so you can use it on any champion you want. But no, it's all random. And I don't know, I just feel like they're milking that highest resource a little bit too much right now. And I'd love to see some more selectability with the T5CC. Because right now my sigil has expired, and I'm capped now on these cosmic catalysts. So if I do form a third one and I don't have anyone to use it on, I gotta keep buying the sigil, which I'm gonna get it anyways, because this game is part of my job, so I don't mind. But that's like a cap of 2, and it's so easy to get 2 of these by getting unlucky. So yeah, that's the rant with Lagacy for the day about tier 5 class catalysts and just chasing that highest resource in the game. And the chase never ends. The chase will never end. There will always be a new resource to chase. Within the coming years, we're going to have tier 3 alpha catalysts and tier 6 basic catalysts to chase. But the good thing about these is, again, they are generic resources that will be used to rank up every champion. That's the silver lining on those. But oh my god, it's going to take 3 of these to take a champion to the next level. And think about it. Kabam is charging $50 for 10% of a tier 5 class catalyst. Imagine what they're going to charge for just one of these. It's crazy. And also, one other thing I wanted to rant about, which I think is super silly. So if we take a look at a 5-star, to take them to rank 5 real quick, the materials needed is 2 tier 5 basics, right? Now, if we look at what it takes to champion to rank 4, I need to find a rank 3 champion, it takes tier 4 basics. You know, it makes sense. The next level, to take them, once you start using, you know, tier 5 basic, it stops requiring tier 4 basic. It makes sense. But then if we look at 6 stars, taking a 6 star from rank 1 to rank 2, it requires tier 4 basic for some reason. Why? I never understood that. And also, when taking, and it also requires tier 4 class catalyst, which is fine, from going from level 1 to 2. That's fine, it's a 6 star. But then going from rank 2 to rank 3, it requires 8 tier 4 class catalysts as well as the tier 5 class catalyst. Why? This, when they first released what it would take to level up, rank up 6 stars, the catalyst cost, it puzzled me. Why it costs so many tier 4 class catalysts? Why, when we're acquiring the tier 5 class version? Why do we still need to use tier 4? And why is it so many? It's 8 of them, man. I'm starting to run out of tier 4 because, again, the RNG is now striking me on the tier 4 variety. I can't get enough of certain classes. You see I'm overflowing on 3 classes, and then on 2 classes, mutant and science specifically. I have so many champs that I want to rank. There's so many mutants I want to rank up, and I can't because I don't pull the mutants, you know? And it's like this game just knows the catalyst that you want, or the Sigstone class that you want, or the Awakening Gem class that you want, and it just doesn't give it to you. For example, we take a look at my Awakening Gems. 4 Cosmic, 1 Tech, 2 Mutant, 1 Skill, 1 Science, no Mystic. But 4 Cosmic, and I've used a fair share of Cosmic Awakening Gems in my day. I had to give my Corvus a generic Awakening Gem because at the time I had no Cosmic ones, and now I have 4 of them. Like, that's just the nature of this game and RNG, it seems, at times. But okay, that is going to do it for the rant of the day. Kabam, if you are watching this, the RNG with chasing this highest resource is ridiculous. You need to add some selectability. Some great places to add some selectability would be in the Cavalier event. There is objectives that come with it. This month it was a 10% crystal. Make that a selector at least, so that we can get 1 per month through Cavalier. That would take 10 months to form 1 catalyst that we wanted. 10 months is a long time. I think that's more than fair. And make it a special objective so that we have to work extra hard just to do it. Another place is Alliance War and season rewards right now. Make some of these selectable, man. Like, it's just all RNG. Next place you can make them is AQ. Make the AQ modifier one selectable. It's 10% right now for 1 week of AQ. I didn't mean to go into incursions. But yeah, it's 10% per week if you do the highest epic modifiers. We're going to find that reward. Here we go. Honor rewards here. It's 10% crystal. If you're going to make the epic modifiers harder if you want, because right now they are kind of easy. And make this a selector. Make it a 10% selector. Make it so we got to work for it each week in AQ. But give us the chance to earn a selector, because otherwise people are just going to keep on getting screwed over by the RNG. And I've personally had enough. I've had enough of the RNG. There's 6-star champs that I want to rank up. Human Torch, Guillotine 2099, and I just can't do it because I can't get that 1 resource. And I've been chasing it. I've been chasing them. I have all the content done in the game and still haven't formed 2 classes. So if you ask me, it's a bit silly. But yeah, that's going to do it for the rant of the day. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you agree. If you do agree, drop a like on this video so we can get it a bit more throughout the community. Maybe Kabam will hear my voice and then your guys' voices as well. Maybe they'll listen a bit more if we're a bit more united. Maybe this will do something. Maybe it'll do nothing. Here's hoping. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.